everyone, my name's HarryAtomic and it's emergency video time. Oh my goodness! So the Xbox Series X specs have been revealed, so let's take a look at them and see exactly how this console stacks up to our expectations. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Anyways, before we dive into Xbox Series X content, if you like Xbox stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I make an absolute ton of Xbox videos. We talk about Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox news, just anything in general. So if you like Xbox but you don't like all the fanboy shtick, then I think this might be the channel for you. Anyways, let's get into the juicy news. So Phil Spencer ended up posting a message onto the Xbox Wire blog talking about what you can expect from the next generation of gaming. Finally, some information what we've all been clamoring for. Oh my goodness. So there was a little infograph released in the middle of this big blog which goes into more detail about all of the points, but let's get stuck on and see exactly what this is. So the very first point mentioned here is that it's a 12 teraflop system. Now just for comparison, the Xbox One X, Microsoft's current 4K gaming powerhouse console, is rated at 6 teraflops, which means that this is actually twice the power of an Xbox One X. So for anybody that doesn't know, teraflop is a measure of how many operations that a processor can do at any one time. Without going too much into it, it basically means that this console is capable of performing 12 million floating point operations a second, which, as I say, the higher that number is, the better your graphics are going to be, because you're going to be calculating things like light, 3D models, just everything that goes into a game. Basically, it's just raw horsepower. So the next point that's mentioned on this infograph is variable rate shading. Now, what's that, you ask? So apparently what variable rate shading is a way for developers to prioritize the important points on the screen. There's no point in rendering super crazy, mad, far away stuff if all of the action is happening right in front of you. So what you can do as a developer is you can go ahead and prioritize what's happening in front of the player, on screen, than what's going on in the periphery or in the backgrounds or in just less important objects. So yeah, all in all, it seems that graphics is the top thing that Xbox are talking about at the moment. The Xbox team just seem to be really focused on making sure that this is a top gaming system, which is a big change from what happened with the Xbox One. I mean, when that launched, it was all about entertainment. It was all about, making sure that everybody was watching TV and all that stuff. And now it's kind of nice to be going back to those gaming hardware roots. Anyways, on to the next point, which has been the buzzword this generation, is ray tracing. We've been told that the Xbox Series X is going to have hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. We've all seen the demos of ray tracing demos. We've seen Minecraft ray tracing, which was just the funniest thing to show off ray tracing on. But either way, it's going to make games look beautiful. The fact that it's hardware accelerated is really good. Hardware accelerated is always going to be better than something that's performed in software. So it seems that this is, the right direction to be going on. I mean, nowadays with all the modern graphics cards and things supporting ray tracing, it kind of makes sense to have hardware accelerated ray tracing. Plus the fact that everybody just keeps saying ray tracing now as a buzzword, making it front and center of your new console is probably a good idea. So the next one is one that on the surface sounds kind of benign, but really whenever I looked a bit more into it, it seems that this is actually a really cool feature. So they mention having quick resume for multiple games. Now, I know that this sounds just oh yeah, you can do that with your Xbox One already. You go out to the guide and you jump back in, but it seems that this is going to act almost like save states for emulators. They mention that you'll be able to continue multiple games from the point where you left off, the same way that you can with a single game at the moment on Xbox One. So that means that you'll just be able to stop playing one game, play a different game, and once you go back to the first game, you'll literally just be where you were. You won't be at a save point or anything like that. Pretty much just like save states are on emulators these days. I think that that is an absolutely brilliant feature. Personally, I spend a lot of time making videos. I spend a lot of time hanging out with friends and family, and so because of that, my gaming time at the moment is very precise and kind of limited as it would have been years ago. So because of that, the ability to just jump straight into a game and get the most out of short play sessions is really important to me as a gamer these days. So quick resume is something that I am really excited for, and it's something that I'll be making full use of. Now, the last thing that they mention here, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of confuses me, is smart delivery. Now, initially when I read this, I thought, delivery? What do you mean? Is it not just gonna be sent through the post? But no, apparently smart delivery is a system that Microsoft are pushing at the moment, where if you buy a game that is supported on multiple consoles, like if it's supported on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, you'll get the best version of that game for the console you're playing on. Personally, I didn't know that this was an issue that needed solving, but I mean, I suppose I'll wait and see it in action before I, pass any judgment. But I'm kind of confused by this one, but yeah, smart delivery, woo. So there were a few other points mentioned in this video as well. The first one being that there is a custom SSD inside this console. Now, that was something we were already expecting. SSD is pretty much the best way of playing these large 4K games at the moment. SSDs have been around for long enough now that we know the advantages of them. Fast load times is probably going to be the biggest impact on console gaming, so to put an SSD inside your console these days is kind of expected. Now, this next one is one that kind of, I'm not sure what the story is behind this, but it's dynamic latency input. The whole idea here is that Microsoft are saying that using their proprietary connection protocol, they're trying to make sure that the latency between you pressing the button and the action happening on screen is as small as possible. Pretty much they're trying to just make games more responsive with their own protocol. But they mentioned that they're going to synchronize the actual output to the input that you're putting in. I don't know how well that's going to work, especially with online play, because, you know, syncing different displays and things, I mean, yes, it's only going to be a few frames, but in games where being frame perfect is important, like fighting games, I'm not sure how difficult developers are going to find it. They incorporate this into their current netcode. But who knows, maybe it's going to be really cool, and maybe we're going to have like really low latency wireless input. Then that is kind of the dream, isn't it? Now, the next 2 points I'm going to mention together, and that's the support for HDMI 2.1 as well as support for 120 frames per second. For most people, I don't think that this is going to be something that we're going to worry about just yet, because a lot of TVs don't support 120 hertz, and I think it'll be a while before displays that support 120 hertz, i.e. living room TV displays, will come down in price enough for them to be affordable. However, the fact that the technologies here shows that the console at least has future-proofing in mind. HDMI 2.1 means that it's also going to support variable refresh rates, which means that if you're on a display that can display 120 frames per second and your game starts to chug, maybe it plays at 90 or 100 frames per second, instead of the display and the console being out of sync and maybe getting frame tearing and all those awful artifacts that we don't like, instead what'll happen is that the console will tell the display to refresh at the rate that the game is currently playing at. It just means that your display is always going to be in sync with your console, and it makes for a more buttery smooth experience. PC users have been enjoying this for a while with AMD FreeSync and Nvidia G-Sync. I hope I got those the right way round. It seems to be a common thing in a lot of displays nowadays as well, which means that it's been adopted pretty strongly. So the final 2 points that were mentioned here are the two that I was looking forward to the most. I know, yes, hardware and specs and all that stuff is really cool. However, this is kind of what we're here for. We're here for the games, and Xbox Game Pass is obviously going to be supported. There's going to be an absolute ton of games, like first party games and stuff that's going to be on it. They mentioned that Halo Infinite is going to be available on it at launch, which is really cool. So Xbox Game Pass does not seem to be getting diluted or doesn't seem to be going away in any shape or fashion. That was what I was kind of worried about. I was worried that the new system would kind of have Xbox Game Pass kind of trailing behind a bit, where new games will come out a bit later because of, you know, the hype surrounding a new console and stuff would be easy to kind of get money out of players, but I suppose they're trying to sell Game Pass subscriptions more than individual games. So either way, I'm happy. The fact that my Game Pass subscription is gonna still be worth a lot when the new console comes out is just awesome. This is the one that I was looking forward to the most, and that is the older games. Let's face it, we all have Xbox collections. We all love playing old Xbox 360 games. Soon we'll be saying that we enjoy playing old Xbox One games, and it seems that anything that is currently compatible with your Xbox One, including Xbox One games, will all be compatible with the Xbox Series X. That means all those backwards compatible Xbox games, all those backwards compatible 360 games, and all Xbox One games will be available on the Series X. Not only that, it mentions that they will benefit from steadier frame rates as well as faster load times due to the better hardware without any work from the developers whatsoever. So pretty much all of our games that we currently enjoy, we will still be able to enjoy. They'll look better, they'll play better, and it just involves no extra work for anybody. That is a home run for me. I mean, you can see behind me, I love Xbox stuff. I collect Xbox One, 360, Xbox Original to an extent. I love my Xbox collection, and it would be a shame for that to kind of have a pin put on it when the new console comes out. So I'm just really happy that these games are going to be supported. Anyways, I don't usually do videos like this. However, this news literally came out while I was in the middle of recording another video. So I was sitting here anyway with the camera fully set up and the room fully lit and everything, and I thought, why not? Let's just get this thing together. So anyways, thanks for watching this odd, non-scheduled video. If you liked it, then please consider getting subscribed to the channel. As I said at the start, I do an absolute a ton of Xbox videos. We focus on Xbox 360, Xbox One, Series X, Xbox news, just anything Xbox in general. So if you like Xbox and you don't like all the fanboy shtick, then I think this might be the channel for you. Also, if you want to chat more about any of the news stuff that you've heard, if you want to get in on the Xbox Series X hype, or maybe you just want to talk to me directly about something Xbox related, then consider joining our Discord as well. We have over 100 members at the moment, so things are getting pretty active in there at the moment. It's pretty cool. So anyways, all the links are in the description. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.